Hey guys, this is Samar, this is Daksh, and we are talking from my place. And we just wanted to have a small chat with you about sales. So, Daksh leads sales, he's the Chief Revenue Officer at Jungleworks. And we were discussing, what do we do? How do we motivate sales folks? How do we, we keep discussing sales, right? Obviously. So, we thought, okay, let's start doing maybe a podcast about things that we anyway keep talking about.
Correct.
And why don't we just start talking on a video and hopefully it helps somebody? Because I think the kind of stuff that we are doing, building teams, scaling them up, learning new things every day, then going multinational, now expanding in 5 countries together.
Correct.
Right? Having customers in over 100 countries. It's mind-boggling, but a lot of learning, right?
Correct.
So I think, and Daksh has grown so much over the years, and I feel we are having so many lessons that we want to give it back to people. And there's a very good announcement also at the end of the video, which I'll just tell you at the end. So with that, let me ask Daksh. So Daksh, first let's just start with your journey so far.
Okay.
I know you started out as a,
Associate of sales.
So tell me your journey in general. What have you been through? How has your professional journey been?
All right. So I think somewhere it's been 5 years. So I joined as a sales associate. I mean, maybe at that time we had a team of around 100 sales guys. So I joined as sales associate. And it was just before COVID, 2019, and it was actually the 1st of Jan, New Year.
Okay.
So, and then I think it took me around 3-4 months to kind of see the best mentor. But to be very honest, in sales, I mean, the mentor is always your competitor again. Sales is always about competition. But I figured out my way myself. I figured it out that, okay, we need to understand those things which this company is selling. So I know how to sell a product, but which product I'm selling. So I started preparing myself.
Yeah.
So within I would say 1 year, I became team lead. I started leading a team. Then I got that opportunity to, kind of visit Kuwait, my first Gulf visit. And actually that changed the entire thing. I'll talk about that maybe in some other video. So when I came back from Kuwait, I was actually reporting to Ashish that time. So he asked me to kind of, why don't you hire a team? Why don't you start building a team? And he said that the only thing that I need is, and the very basic thing I need is, can you make 5 new Daksh?
Yeah.
I said, I mean, maybe that's the easiest thing that you're requesting me for. But then today I find it very difficult when I say that, can you make 5 Samar? Or can I make 5 new Daksh today? I think it's very difficult. So from there, my journey started as a leader. And I would say that I have actually seen 13 leaders in this organization. And right now, since you said that I'm taking care of the entire revenue part. So this was my journey, started as a sales associate, worked as a team leader, then started managing a team with 2 team leaders around me, then worked as a director, completely pivoted to...
And let me tell you my side of the story. I don't think we spoke like in the early days when you joined, right? And then COVID came, nobody knew each other, right? So I think your name started coming up in conversations more. Because I think the first memory I have of you meeting was meeting Nigerian company CEO.
Quick. Okay.
The French guys.
Okay.
At our during COVID.
During COVID, I remember.
So and then and I started hearing okay, this is a good guy and good leads. Okay, give him those leads, etc. Right. So that's my kind of impression.
And anyway, it's difficult to be one of 100 at that time. I mean.
Yeah, fair enough. But I think see, what I always say is your competition is never 100. Your competition is always top 5%. Right, I always go into, so a lot of times, people have told me time and again, Samar, this is very competitive. And I say, guys, 95% is out.
Correct.
Just by the virtue of people mostly give up. Only 5% generally are in competition.
Correct.
So, I know that I am by definition in that 5%, call it overconfidence, whatever. But then you start competing in that strata. That's how I say that if you are if you are confident, you're a hard worker, you are in that top 5% to start with. But anyway, so let me ask you another question. So I keep hearing from all the people, especially our folks, they're always like sad, the longevity is low, etc. Why is sales so difficult?
Sales is difficult. See, to be very honest, Samar, sales is not a job of selling. Sales is not a selling job. Sales is actually a job of rejection. So it's you really have to face 9 no to get 1 yes.
Maybe even more, yeah.
To be very honest, I would say that this is the ideal scenario that I'm running for. If you face 9 no, and then you get 1 yes, it is the ideal scenario.
Yeah.
This is how you keep yourself motivated with a day full of rejections. But this is how sales is.
Yeah.
And then with this challenge, people sometimes, the sales guy, I would say, they start feeling like that I am the sales guy. They don't feel like I'm the consultant. They run after numbers, they run after a lot of things. They don't know that this is the actual process. Sales doesn't happen on the very first thing.
They forget that humans first and sales second.
Correct. So that's the challenge in sales. People don't understand. The sales guy, maybe it's aggression in the market.
Yeah.
Yes, you'll maybe close a deal in a day. But then the ideal scenario, look at the pool of customers or the closers that we had in the past, it's always a journey. It's always a process. Sales never happens in the first or second conversations. Those are not sales. Those are like either the customer has a fear in the mind to lose maybe the market, or maybe there's something which is going on and he just need a replacement. Otherwise, sales happens in generally around 5 to 8 of the follow-up cycles. Yeah. And with that being said, the fortune of sales falls in the follow-up.
Yeah.
It is never in the...
So guys, for you who's listening, sales is always about follow-up, right? It's never about, you talk to a person and it's done.
Correct.
People who follow up, people who are diligent, they get the sale.
They get the sale.
Perfect. Okay, with that I come to the next one. So what's, I remember when we walked into our office, the big wall said up or out. I don't know if you saw that. It's still our motto. So tell us, what's the jungle process of sales?
Okay. See, Samar, jungle process of sales is what we are actually trying to do, and we're working on this process since a long time.
Yeah, I know it's not final by any means, but it's always evolving.
I'll come to that point too. You cannot you cannot finalize something.
Yeah.
The market changes, the customer experience changes. Perfect. But before that, it's more about preparation. We need to prepare the sales guy, and you're not just preparing a sales guy, you're preparing his pitch for every call. So once a sales guy is prepared, he's actually presenting his credibility, or he's sounding like a consultant. He's not sounding like a sales guy.
Yeah.
In India, you must have seen that all those medicines are actually on the shelf of each and every pharmacy stores. And there are MRs, there are salesmen right there. But then you don't get the medicines like that. Even in India, you can just get the medicine without the prescription. But then here comes the place for doctor. Doctor prescribes it. And how does he prescribe? He does the treatment. He does the examination. So same goes for a sales guy. He has to understand that he has to diagnose the entire thing. He has to understand. Maybe it cannot happen on the very first call, not in the very, very first meeting. It has to go up with some questions, but you have to be in the right space, right? You just don't have to feel like that you are a tape recorder. Moment you get a lead, you just play it and the pitch goes the same. Yeah. No, it doesn't work. So what jungle process is, and we are working on preparing the sales guy for the type of market, for the TAM that we have, and then the problem of the customer. And then the ideal sales process is then work on, maybe the emotion.
Yeah.
Either build the dream with the customer or build that fear with the customer that maybe you're going to lose that market. So next is sort of emotions. So these are two things that we are working on: preparations, emotions, and then just follow the process. Just trust the process. Don't do it like, you don't have to do like 60 minutes of meetings. I'll just talk about this thing. Today, any website, even if you are using YouTube, you must see any video. You cannot wait for 5 seconds to skip that video if you're not a premium customer. Same goes for a sales guy. You cannot just make a length of your email. You cannot just make a length of your content all around. You just have to make it like, hey, can we just take next 10 minutes? I'll show you my product. Hey, I think it will just take me 30 seconds. I do have a couple of questions. Let's talk about that. So he understands that my focus is required for another 30 seconds or it is for another 10 minutes. When you say him that, hey, I have a very vast product, it will take around 1 or 2 hours to get through it. He's done. Last month, I think I purchased one of the refrigerator, and the guy told me that he'll come for a home demo, and he told me that, can you just make sure that your mama is there, your sister is there? It will take me around 90 minutes to cover it alone. I told him that they will be there. I cannot wait for 90 minutes for a demo on refrigerator.
So let me, summarize it for you guys. 2 things. Preparation, super critical. You need to know what you are selling. You can't just walk in and be like a maverick. You have to put in the work. Number 2, you have to put your customer first. If the customer wants 2-minute demo, give a 2-minute demo. Customer wants a 90-minute demo, give a 90-minute demo. So 2 things, preparation, customer first. Cool. So then, Daksh, let me take the next question, right? So you are a sales leader yourself. You started as an individual contributor, right? Moved up the ladder, did well, did bad, whatever, right? You had a long stint. So what are the challenges of a sales leader today?
So the challenges of a sales leader is to first, the biggest challenge is to retain the talent.
Yeah, perfect.
Before that, build the talent.
Yeah.
Now, how to build that talent and how to kind of invest in the right direction. Maybe all of your investments are not in the right direction, but you always
very
think
bad. But yeah, that's true.
So I think maybe I'll prove it. I'll prove it someday. But this is how I define it: that you need to build the talent, then retain the talent. So building the talent, what I'm facing as a challenge is, it's not about that resource has to. He has to keep himself updated.
Yeah.
But then the updation comes from the type of customer. It comes from the geography. If I'm talking about tonality today, maybe customers sitting in, in Europe will like, hey, let's say I'm the sales guy. I say that, hey, my name is Daksh and I'm calling you from Jungleworks and you recently signed up on Yellow. I'm sounding like a sales guy here.
Yeah.
If I say that, hey, my name is Daksh, you recently visited our website, Jungleworks. I'm calling you with Jungleworks. I think you're looking for an on-demand marketplace. It's a good time to talk. You don't have to sound like,
you don't have to be a sleazy sales guy.
Correct. So these are the things, and I'm not saying that the second approach is going to work everywhere and all the time. No, that's one. Second, one channel, one approach does no longer work. You cannot just focus on one thing, maybe one channel just
World
to communicate.
World is very dynamic. Changes.
Correct. So if it's LinkedIn for someone, bring it to emails, bring it to newsletters, bring it to cold calling. You need to churn down each and everything in each and every space and then follow the kind of sales cadence. This is something which is, I would say, the sales teams are struggling with. They're not following that cadence, or they're not maybe finding out the best cadence. I would say that I figured it out with some time, but then you need to be ready to tweak that with the change in the time. So one channel, one approach is no longer working. Then building a talent around it is a challenge. And then finally is retaining the talent. And I think retention of sales talent is always around with commissions. And I would say that we're trying our best. This month also, it's more about, launching iPhones 15 Pro Max to all our sales guys. Yeah. So this is how we're trying to boost that. This is how we're trying to do it. And I think But then we also need to understand, Samar, one more thing. Sales is always about churning things. I mean, if I started leading a team of 10 people or 10 resources around, only 3 are going to win the race. One,
Yeah.
2, 3. Today you run a race with maybe 20 others. There are only 3 positions out there. So sales is always 1, 2, 3.
So let me again, sum it up. So 2 challenges: retention and creation of talent, and constant updation. Nothing is going to last. You have to constantly keep reinventing yourself according to market, according to circumstances, whatever, right?
Correct.
Perfect. So Daksh, so what's our roadmap for next 3 years, right? What's our sales roadmap, right? What do we plan? We set up our office in Dubai. You came to Dubai last year. So what's our roadmap for next 3 years?
So for next 3 years, Samar, I think we are in the right space as of now. I mean, we've completely pivoted to Dubai. Now, Dubai being the center, from here, it's very easy to kind of relocate everywhere. So we started this with Egypt now. We started this with Philippines. I would say that Philippines and Egypt, both of them are picking like really
And
well.
Colombia.
Correct. I mean, in Philippines, it's not just about expanding the team. We're expanding the partner network there. I mean, there are vendors out there who really want to be our partner and kind of
Distribute
resell
our
this.
product, yeah.
Correct. So that's another place. Then it's happening in Colombia. That's another place. Colombia and Mexico are going to help us in the entire American market. So the idea, 3 years down the lane, the idea is to kind of set up these small little jungles around 10 part of the world. I know that the jungles are, I mean,
Yeah.
it's in the entire
so
world.
for everybody, like everywhere I go, I find a jungle to live in, or
Correct.
build my own small jungle.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct. So it's actually a jungle, and to be very honest, you need to hunt for yourself. That's
And
how a
if you are, by
sales
the way,
guy.
a customer, you are, or a partner, whoever, right? You're welcome to come visit our office in Chandigarh and visit our jungle. It's literally a jungle. All the animals flying and running around, and it's a good place. But not everybody likes it. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Any plan to have a jungle in Dubai? I mean,
I don't know, man. Like it's a little, difficult to have a jungle here, but maybe a desert jungle.
maybe a desert jungle, yeah. I mean, a lot of products can still survive there with the heat. So I think the plan, coming back to the plan, Samar, with what we were talking about, is to expand this sales team to at least to 10 different locations, starting from these top 3 that I said: Egypt, done; Philippines, done; Colombia and Mexico, done. And then to find 7 other places. See, I mean, I was talking to someone, he was saying that I want to be in Switzerland.
Yeah.
And for that reason, you went and you
Actually,
figured it out.
we acquired a company recently in Switzerland. We are looking to have somebody, look at the European operations. So yeah, makes sense, definitely. So cool, man. So last question on a personal front. So how are you liking Dubai?
Oh, Yalla Habibi, that's the difficult question. So I think Dubai, I don't know, it's Dubai or Dubai, whatever it is. I think I'm really loving it. And I think this is the time where I'll start loving it more because it's
Weather
the
is
season.
changing,
The weather
yeah.
is changing.
And by the way, barbecue season has started. So if you are a partner, customer, employee, whoever, and are in Dubai, say hello. Every weekend we have a barbecue at my place.
So that's the Jungle Connect that we do. So every weekend,
Yeah.
I think we started with Friday, but we figured it out that Friday people in Dubai work a lot. So we'll now move it to Saturday.
Yeah.
So that's how we start with the barbecue session. Do let us know whatever you want to eat because then that's how we prepare ourselves. So that's about the Jungle Connect. So I think I'm loving it. I'll start loving it more with this time. Maybe I'll go back to India for Diwali and come back for preparing myself for Christmas Eve and maybe celebrating the New Year. But then what I feel is everywhere, I mean, even if I travel with metro, I see that people around me are from 10 different countries at least.
Yeah.
So that's
Super
the best thing.
cosmopolitan.
Correct,
I love
correct.
it too. Yeah.
So cosmopolitan thing is something which attracts, which actually gives you that kind of thing that everyone understands different languages. So they have all that knowledge, all that cultural knowledge that they have and that they kind of contribute to Dubai.
Yeah.
And then it's very easy for a customer, coming from anywhere of the world to be in Dubai. He loves it. He wants to visit the, vendor like us, partner like us, and then he wants to maybe, spend a night in Dubai in front of maybe the Burj Khalifa. So that's how, it's actually the Dubai that I have heard about, that I've dreamed about. It's actually the same. And I'm going to love it unless you find a different place for me, but I'm going to love it.
I'm happy you're liking it, but I'll not let you stay here for long. We
God.
have to set up a lot of new offices and, so let's see where our journey takes us next. So anyway, so time for the announcement I mentioned in the beginning of the call. So we have, been like really focused on demand, right? So and a lot of people keep asking me what's next for Jungleworks, right? And to be honest, we have figured out that on demand is a space that's growing very well. We are the front runners in this space. We are doing incredibly well across the globe. We are, present, or let's say transacting in every country of the world, right? I mean, sadly or happily, there's a good thing, there's a bad thing. In any country, we reach out to our customers right away, solve their challenges, try to figure out how can we support them best. And the next evolution for us is more focus and emphasis on growth, right? What I mean by that is, so products like Bumble, Fugu, Jindo, Bulbul, these are new products that have, been in our labs for quite some time. And now we are launching them for our customers, for everybody, they are out of beta labs with the idea that, we will build the best growth stack for startups and on-demand companies around the globe, right? We have incredible traction already and we'll take it to the next level. And so in that sense, we'll actually me and Daksh will start doing a weekly podcast focusing and talking about growth. Growth means sales, revenue, demand generation. I'll bring more speakers also in, sometimes somebody else will come and sometimes I'll be there, sometimes Daksh will be there, sometimes somebody else.
Product
but the
experts.
idea is we'll talk about growth, right? And we'll focus on growth, which is profitable growth, not by transactional burn. So with that, thank you very much. I hope you liked it. Tell us what you think about it in comments and tell us what you want to hear about in growth sector, and we'll bring more of that to you.
Do we need to say that? Hit like, subscribe or not?
It's fine. I think if you want it, do it. Otherwise, it's no big deal. Thanks.
All right. Thank you.